And I will add on that the point about Texas and that offensive line and what'll be so crucial with this Clemson team this year. So I tried to challenge myself a little bit. We had some time, and I really tried to dive play by play with this Clemson group. And I was in the middle. I was pulling up my notes from that. And so in that Texas game, not counting Cade Klubnik, they ran the ball a total of 11 times. And we all know the story with Phil Maffa. And at that point, by the time around November, I think a lot of fans knew there was something seriously wrong where Clemson just wasn't able to run the football at all. And so with this offense, and I think that's honestly a credit to Cade and this receiving core, is they were able to still make it work when I think a lot of the country knew that when you're playing Clemson, they're going to probably pass the ball 40, 45 times, and they really can't do anything on the ground, hence the Adam Randall move, which we're seeing in real time right now. It's going to be crucial for this group. I think it only would add to the level of success that I think a lot of people believe Clemson's capable of offensively is if they can just have a competent running game. Not even, doesn't have to be anything fancy. I don't think it's got to be top 50 in the country. I just think that has to be serviceable enough to get a look. And I think the rest will take care of itself. And that only will serve to benefit the offensive line to just get a look and have the defense maybe not just get, all right, we're going to bring out a couple extra corners. We're going to dare them to run it. And we know they can't. And so I think it's going to come down to that's one of those crucial positions where a guy like Gideon Davidson, maybe Adam Randall, who, man, body type wise, just looks a little bit bigger out there, man. It's fascinating, and we've been beating this Adam Randall point to death like crazy. But it just to see him out there, talk to a couple guys on the beat, just off to the side watching drills, and they go, it looked a lot more natural than it did in the spring, and I think that's a great sign for Clemson fans.
Yeah, and it's going to it's going to be the biggest difference in terms of whether or not this team can be what we think it can be. Just like you said, you have every college football team, every good college football team, every national championship college football team, you got to be able to run the football. I mean, has not changed in the 30 years that football has been a thing. But running the football still matters. And Clemson has had some really good backs over the years, and they've never really been bad at running back. So it's always kind of jarring when they can't run the football. And, just the end of last year, it really became apparent. And I think it cost you in a lot of ways, especially, of course, in Texas. But I think in that South Carolina game, I mean, Cade Klubnik was your run game. And he had a couple of rushing touchdowns on the ground. That they did enough through the air. But I think if you had a run game, I think you would have been able to sustain drives better and be able to finish drives better. That was the most frustrating thing. Cade threw for 300 yards in that game, and you scored 14 points. So. I mean, it kind of reminds me of where Clemson was when Cade made his first start against Tennessee. They threw the ball 54 times.
It was a lot.
Getting back to running the football and being able to do it in the biggest games, I think is going to be the biggest challenge for this group, for Matt Luke, this offensive line, and this running back group. Cade is great. The receivers are great. I don't want him throwing the ball 50 times every game, because eventually you're going to play a team you're just not going to be able to do that against. I think it's going to be one of the biggest things in fall camp that I'm going to be keeping an eye on. I'm sure you are going to be keeping an eye on. Super duper excited to see kind of the returns of that, because Adam Randall, Gideon Davidson, and Jay Haynes. And I actually wanted to ask you about him, because I didn't hear him mentioned, or I didn't see him mentioned much, but I haven't gotten a chance to read everything. How did he look? I know he's certainly limited right now, but what is his participation like right now?
So right now he's in a green jersey. So as Sweeney puts it, he's essentially practicing, but when it comes to anything contact-wise, they're going to keep him off. So it's going from December to July off of an ACL injury, and this is mid-December, so you kind of shave off those first few weeks. It's pretty impressive, given where he's at. If I had to project to you right now, Jordan, it would probably be, I wouldn't say that I wouldn't expect him to be out there for LSU. I think the way Sweeney phrased it was very careful. He left the door open for it, but also kept expectations realistic. I think maybe week 2 or week 3, I could see a situation where he gets a couple reps against Troy, and it's sort of the ramping up, getting back to the swing of things. It's a low situation, low stakes environment, not compared to the we'll have get Jay Haynes out there for 3rd and 2 against LSU, down 7. Let's go make it happen, man. And so we saw him out there for a bit. Looks like he's still kind of figuring it out physically,
Mhm.
still ramping up. Getting in the green jersey as compared to being on the side in yellow is kind of a great sign. It gets him invigorated. It gets him to understand this offense, the installs. It's all important to just have him there as a body. And so I would say week 2, week 3 is my estimation right now, and just based off of the understanding of the information we got today. More on an injury note, though, Sweeney has been pretty positive about where this team is at in terms of the key contributors being healthy. There aren't too many bumps and bruises in terms of key contributors. So I think if you're a Tiger fan listening, you got to feel pretty good right now. Obviously, a lot of it, there's still time between now and then for things to happen. And people will say crazy things about injuries, but ultimately, I think people are in a good. Clemson's in a good spot health wise entering this camp.
That's really good to hear.